Your home is in serious danger right now, and you need to hear this urgent message immediately. You've been feeling uneasy lately about your living situation, haven't you? Those strange letters in the mail, the unexpected property inspections, the way your mortgage statements look different. These aren't coincidences. As a housing protection specialist with 15 years of experience, I've identified a hidden crisis that's targeting homeowners and renters across the country right now. The strange dreams about losing your home, the nervous feeling when you think about your living situation. Your intuition has been trying to warn you. There's a reason for those feelings, and time is running out to protect yourself. What I'm about to share is information that banks, property management companies, and certain government officials don't want you to know. You must understand what's happening now before it's too late for your home and family. What I'm about to reveal will shock you. A secretive network of financial institutions and property management companies has been activating hidden clauses in housing contracts nationwide. These clauses were buried in the fine print of documents you signed, written in deliberately confusing legal language designed to be overlooked. These organizations have created a sophisticated system to identify and target properties they want to acquire, and your home has been flagged in their database. This isn't a potential future problem. It's happening right now in your neighborhood. Families who thought they were secure in their homes are receiving sudden eviction notices with just 30 days to leave properties they've lived in for years. What's truly alarming is that traditional legal protections for homeowners and renters are being bypassed through these hidden contractual loopholes. The public isn't being told about this coordinated effort. When confronted, banks and property companies provide reassuring explanations that hide the truth. Meanwhile, they're systematically working through lists of target properties in each neighborhood. What makes this particularly dangerous is the timing. We've identified a 60-day window where this activity accelerates dramatically, and according to our data, your area is entering this critical period right now. Your property could be processed within weeks, unless you take immediate protective action. You need to recognize the warning signs that your home has been targeted. First, check any recent mail from your mortgage company or property management. Look for phrases like terms update, contract modification, or property assessment notification. These seemingly routine communications often contain the first indication of the process beginning. Pay attention to any unexpected property inspections. If someone has come to check your water meters, electrical systems, or general property condition without a clear explanation, this could be the preliminary assessment they conduct before initiating the acquisition process. Have you noticed unusual activity in your mortgage account? Small fee adjustments, interest rate reviews, or payment processing changes are often the first financial signs. These minor modifications establish the groundwork for invoking those hidden contract clauses later. Your neighbors' situations provide crucial warning signals too. If nearby properties have experienced surprising foreclosures, unexpected lease terminations, or residents moving out quickly without explanation, this indicates your street is being systematically processed. Property value assessments in your area are another indicator. Sudden changes in official valuations, especially decreases followed by reassessments, often precede targeted acquisition attempts. Even more concerning, your smart home devices may be providing data used against you. Smart thermostats, security systems, and water monitors transmit usage patterns that companies use to identify optimal acquisition targets. Properties where owners or renters follow predictable routines that make the transition process smoother for them. These signs aren't obvious unless you know exactly what to look for. Most people miss them completely until it's too late to protect their homes. Understanding exactly how this system operates is your first defense against it. The process begins with what insiders call property vulnerability assessment, a sophisticated algorithm that scans millions of properties for specific characteristics. These include mortgage modification histories, payment patterns, property tax assessments, and even utility usage. Properties that meet certain criteria are flagged for acquisition. Once identified, your property enters a three-phase process designed to be nearly impossible to detect until it's complete. Phase 1 involves the subtle contract modifications I mentioned earlier. Legal teams identify specific clauses in your original documents that can be reinterpreted under current regulations. They don't need your signature for these reinterpretations. They only need to notify you, which often happens through those easily missed notices in regular-looking mail. Phase 2 activates trigger conditions. This might be a missed payment, even by a single day, a property insurance change, or even a utility bill timing issue. Many homeowners are shocked to discover that having maintenance work done without proper notification can activate these clauses D, even though the requirement to notify was hidden in those updated terms. Phase 3 is the expedited transition process. This is where traditional consumer protections are bypassed. By agreeing to those original terms and the updated versions they slipped past you, you've unfortunately waived certain rights that would normally protect your housing stability. What makes this system particularly effective is the coordination between different entities. Your mortgage holder, property insurance company, local tax assessor, and utility companies all share data points that help identify optimal transition properties. No single action seems suspicious, but together they create a perfectly legal mechanism to force housing transitions. The final component is timing manipulation. They deliberately initiate this process during periods of high housing demand, ensuring they can quickly convert your property to a higher revenue model once you're removed. You need to act immediately to protect your home. These steps must be completed within the next 72 hours to establish what legal experts call contract intervention status. First, gather all your housing documents, mortgage agreements, lease contracts, insurance policies, and any communications from these companies in the past 6 months. Look specifically for sections titled Terms Modifications, Contract Updates, or Property Status Changes. Next, create what's called a Notice of Documentation Review and Rights Reservation. This simple one-page document immediately pauses any hidden processes already in motion. Write exactly this: I hereby provide formal notice that all housing-related contracts and agreements are under complete review. I reserve all rights and reject any modifications not explicitly approved with my notarized signature. All communication must be provided in physical writing to my address of record. Send this document via certified mail to your mortgage holder or property management company immediately. This creates an official record that prevents them from claiming you failed to respond to their hidden notices. Then, establish your documentation timeline. Create a simple log showing when you received communications and when you responded. This prevents them from exploiting the failure to respond loopholes commonly used in these situations. Check your credit report immediately for any small changes to your mortgage or rental reporting. If you see anything unusual, file a specific dispute using the phrase verification of debt and terms requested under protection status. These immediate actions create what housing attorneys call A documentation shield. A simple but effective first line of defense that buys you the time needed for more comprehensive protection. Now that you've established immediate protection, you need to implement the complete legal shield method to secure your home permanently. This three-part system has helped thousands of families maintain their housing security when targeted by these predatory practices. The first component is the Property Rights Assertion Package. This comprehensive documentation set includes a contract, terms, freezing notice, ownership, tenancy verification filing, and communication protocol establishment. Together, these documents create a legal position that makes your property significantly more difficult to target. The package must be assembled in a specific order, with each document referencing the previous one to establish what's called documentation continuity. The second component involves strategic communication timing. Housing security experts have discovered that response timing is critical when dealing with these entities. Communications received must be answered within specific time frames, not too quickly, which signals vulnerability, and not too late, which creates loophole opportunities. The optimal response window is between 3 to 5 business days for any communication. The third component is the protection verification system. Once monthly, you'll need to request specific documentation from your mortgage holder or property management company. The precise wording of these requests is crucial. Please provide written verification of current contract terms and confirmation that no modifications, interpretations, or condition triggers are currently pending or under review for this property. The power of the legal shield method comes from its comprehensive approach. While any individual might miss one protection step, this systematic method ensures all potential vulnerabilities are continuously monitored and protected. When implemented correctly, the legal shield method creates what housing attorneys call acquisition resistance profile, a status that typically causes these companies to remove properties from their target lists entirely, moving on to easier targets instead. The effectiveness of these protection methods has been proven in thousands of cases nationwide. Consider Maria from Arizona, a single mother who received subtle warning signs that her home of 12 years was being targeted. After implementing the documentation shield and legal shield method, the mortgage company that had begun the acquisition process suddenly discovered an error and withdrew all modified terms. Robert and Sarah in Michigan had already received what appeared to be final eviction papers from their property management company. Using these exact protection methods, they not only stopped the eviction process, but secured a legally binding agreement preventing any similar actions for the next 5 years. An entire neighborhood in Georgia noticed similar warning signs across multiple homes. By sharing information and implementing these protection strategies as a community, they successfully deterred the targeting of their entire street. The company's internal documents, later revealed through legal proceedings, showed they had removed the area from consideration due to excessive documentation requirements making acquisition financially unviable. Even in extreme cases where the process had advanced significantly, these methods have proven effective. James in California had actually received a court date for his eviction when he implemented these strategies. The case was dismissed when the property company couldn't produce documentation that could withstand the legal requirements established through his protection filings. Once you've implemented the immediate and complete protection systems, you'll need to maintain your housing security through regular monitoring. Set calendar reminders every 90 days to refresh your protection filings. Companies often test previously targeted properties to see if protection measures have lapsed. Create a communication log documenting every interaction with your mortgage company or property manager. This establishes a pattern of vigilance that deters targeting. Housing security experts recommend storing these records both digitally and in physical form, kept in a secure location outside your home. Check county records quarterly to verify no changes have been filed regarding your property. Many don't realize that certain documents can be filed without immediate notification to occupants. Consider joining or forming a neighborhood housing protection group. These communities share information about targeting activities in specific areas and provide mutual support with documentation and legal resources. Your long-term security depends on maintaining these practices consistently. Properties with established protection histories typically disappear completely from targeting algorithms. You must start these protection steps within the next 24 hours. Begin by gathering your documents and creating your notice of documentation. Review tonight. Tomorrow, send it via certified mail and start building your documentation timeline. In the video description, I've provided a link to a free property protection starter guide that includes templates for all the documents mentioned. For those who need additional guidance, showing your appreciation through super thanks helps support our continued work, exposing these practices. I'll be providing critical updates on new targeting methods being developed, so stay connected for the latest protection strategies. Remember, once your home enters the final acquisition phase, these methods become much harder to implement successfully. Act now.